You know, I often get asked, how do you get your Insta360 videos to look so good? Or why do my videos look bad when I'm using all of the best settings? Insta360 cameras are capable of shooting great looking videos, but don't expect them to be able to match up to your phone or even an action camera like a GoPro. While the X4 can shoot 8K video, this is stretched over 360 degrees, and when reframed, the resulting resolution looks about the same quality as a 1440p video. But what we lose in quality, we gain in the ability to get really creative and have amazing stabilization. But all is not lost. You can follow the tips in this video to maximize the quality coming out of your Insta360 X4 and get the best looking shots possible. And this is exactly the process that I use to get my Insta360 videos. The first thing you've got to do is set up your camera correctly. In the camera settings, make sure high bitrate is selected. You should also set the sharpness to either medium or low. Set the video encoding to H.265. And if you're shooting in bright daylight conditions, then use the maximum 8K resolution in the video settings. Before shooting any video, you need to make sure that the lenses on your camera are completely clear of any dust, smudges, fingerprints. Anything that's on these lenses is going to affect the image quality, and it can be quite severe. Carrying a microfiber cloth like this, which I believe is included with the camera, is really essential. And every time you shoot or every time you think your hand has been near this camera, you need to quickly give both of these lenses a wipe down. So you really need to be vigilant with the wiping of the lenses. While you're shooting, you're probably going to be using an invisible selfie stick. And you should try to keep the camera fairly stable by using two hands to hold this selfie stick whenever possible. You can obviously move the camera around, that's pretty much what it's been designed to do, but using both hands just reduces any small slight vibrations that you may introduce if you are holding it with a less intense grip. Now, after you've shot your videos, you have the choice of reframing them and editing, either using the Insta360 app or the Insta360 Desktop Studio. Now, if you are looking for the absolute best quality, then using the Insta360 Desktop Studio is going to enable you to achieve that. It's always the best option when it comes to pure video quality. While the phone app has a lot more editing options, a lot more AI features, and overall a bit more of an intuitive experience, a phone just isn't powerful enough to get the most out of your videos. I actually did a comparison between the Studio and the phone app to see the difference in quality between using rendering, editing the same videos, and you can see here there is quite a difference. And also, guys, if you're interested in learning how to shoot some amazing content, advanced techniques with your Insta360 X4, then check out my Ultimate Insta360 video course. It has over 60 lessons taking you step by step through how to shoot those amazing shots you've seen on YouTube and Instagram. I make it super simple. It's designed for beginners. It's the cheapest and largest Insta360 course available. I've got a discount for you in the description of this video. Click the link to see all the details about the course and read plenty of reviews, but let's get back to this tutorial. In the Insta360 Studio, you can reframe your videos, combine them together, add transitions, text, and sound. This makes it a great overall video editor. However, I don't actually recommend you do most of what I just said in the Insta360 Studio. I will explain in a minute why. Instead, I recommend you use the Insta360 Studio just to reframe your videos and then export each one of those individually. So you'll end up with a folder of several videos that you've taken on your trip or on a day out or wherever you filmed. When you export each video, it's important to select the right export settings. First, you should make sure the resolution setting is set to 3840 by 2160, that's 4K. Then select ProRes as the file type. Now, selecting ProRes will result in very large video files, large sizes. They're going to be several gigabytes each, probably. But the quality of these videos will be higher because it's a lossless format. So you've exported all your videos, you have a bunch of individual videos ready to go in the ProRes format, but you may want to combine them together, add the transitions, and just make it all a bit more dynamic. Well, here is where we go to a different program. Because the one thing that the Insta360 Studio can't do, I wish it could, but it can't, is to edit the color and lighting in your videos. Being able to color correct your videos will make a huge difference in their appearance. This is why I suggest to just reframe and export each individual file, video in the Insta360 Studio, because we're now going to use a program called CapCut. CapCut is free, although there is a paid version with more features, but for what we're going to do, we don't need the paid version. In CapCut, you can combine your videos, add transitions and text, animations, and most importantly, adjust the color and lighting in your videos. So go ahead and install CapCut. It's a very, very popular program. Open it up and create a new project. Drag all of your reframed Insta360 videos into the project area and then onto the timeline. Now, I'm not going to do a whole tutorial on CapCut, but it's fairly easy to get the hang of, but there's plenty out there to get you started. I am going to show you how you can adjust the color and lighting to really boost the quality of your shots. So once you've dragged your file onto the timeline, you can go ahead and go to the top right-hand corner where there's this little box and you'll see a tab called Adjustments. Now that's where all of the color editing, color and lighting editing is. And there's actually quite a lot you can do in this program. It's pretty advanced. There's quite a lot of options. We don't need to know. I mean, it may look a bit complicated with all of these different tabs and settings, but honestly, the only thing you really need to worry about is the basic setup, the basic tab it says here. I'm just going to focus on the basic editing tab, and there's still quite a lot you can do here. And I'm going to show you exactly how we can get better looking video. So essentially all you need to do is slide these sliders to the left and right and you'll see the adjustments. Saturation obviously gives more color, as you can see here. I would suggest in almost every case you just do slight adjustments. So for exposure especially, you will just want to adjust that slightly. Most of the time what I do is raise the contrast very slightly, which gives a little bit more difference between light and dark. Really lower the highlights as it can, and as the camera can overexpose somewhat. And I raise the shadow value slightly and then leave pretty much everything the same, and then lower the brilliance, which kind of once again brings out more details. So honestly guys, that's all you need to do. You just need to experiment with these tabs. It will obviously depend entirely on the video that you're editing. For some videos you're going to want to do a completely different edit, but it's just a case of sliding these options up and down or going into the curves tab and editing those curves. But whatever you do, just be subtle. Most of the time it's the really subtle changes that can make a difference. As you can see, I'm editing another video here and you can see the difference it's making. This video, actually, I did a bit more of an intense edit because I thought it looked quite dull compared to what I thought was possible. So you can see there it can be quite a big difference. So at first you can just focus on editing with those sliders and don't worry too much about all of the other options. But you can see here the difference it can make. So the final step, once you've done all your editing, combining, color correcting, everything you wanted to do with your video, is to export the final video. Click the export button in CapCut and you'll be shown these export options. You can select MP4 format for this final video, and you're going to want to set the bitrate to between 80 and 100 megabits per second. So that's it guys, that is how I create my Insta360 videos. That is how I get the maximum out of the camera. So don't expect it to match up in terms of sharpness and clarity to a phone or GoPro, but for the kind of creative shots we can make with an Insta360 camera, the shoot and forget, reframe later, I think overall it's worth it, at least obviously for me. That's why I made this channel. Remember to check out my ultimate Insta360 video course where I have loads more tips, full tutorials on how to create all of those amazing shots that the Insta360 camera can make. There's over 60 lessons now with plenty more coming, lots to satisfy customers. Check out the reviews yourself in the link below. But until next time guys, I'll see you around. Bye.